Now, in this session, we'll study the protein molecules and the elementary classification of amino acids. Now, amino acids, they are the basic components of proteins. And amino acids, there are 20 amino acids which form the proteins. And actually, the amino acids are made up of amino group and carboxyl terminal. And more than 300 amino acids are found in nature, but only 20 are involved in the formation of proteins. Now, this is what you have to remember. You will find more than 300 different types of amino acids in the nature, but out of them, only 20 are involved in the protein construction. So living things depend only on 20 amino acids. Okay? And all 20 of the common amino acids are commonly called alpha amino acids. And they contain a carboxyl group and an amino group and a side chain. Okay? So this side chain is different in different types of amino acids. Now this is the structure. Here you can see this is one of the very simple amino acid. This structure is fixed in all 20 amino acids. Okay, so here you can see the carbon atom, and attached to this, it can bind with four different groups. So one H molecule and one amino group and one carboxyl group. So we call this as amino terminal and this as carboxyl terminal. And here this is the R group. Now R group may be as simple as an H in one amino acid, or it may be very complex. So all amino acids differ only in this R group, whereas this structure is common in all amino acids. So this is what you have to remember. The amino acids have one amino terminal and one carboxyl terminal. So amino acids constitute the proteins. So therefore, protein will also have two ends. One end is called amino terminal and another terminal is called carboxyl terminal with COOH. Now, let us understand the classification of amino acids. So based on the reactive group, the amino acids can be grouped into non-polar aliphatic amino acids. Okay, so the one type of amino acids based on the R group are non-polar aliphatic amino acids. You can call them as neutral. The R group in this class of amino acids are non-polar and hydrophobic in nature. Example for such amino acids are glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, methionine, and proline. Then second one is aromatic amino acids. The name itself tells you aromatic. They have a pleasant smell. They contain aromatic side chains and they are relatively non-polar. They are hydrophobic in nature. These amino acids are hydrophobic and all can participate in hydrophobic interactions. Now these hydrophobic and hydrophilic interactions play a very important role in the properties of proteins. Example for aromatic amino acids are phenylalanine, tyrosine, and tryptophan. Now remember this tryptophan. Okay, so I think in some of the chapters we are going to discuss about this tryptophan because from this many compounds are produced. It is an aromatic amino acid. And the third type of amino acid based on the R group are polar uncharged amino acids. The R group of these amino acids are more soluble in water or more hydrophilic. So in this type of amino acids, you find the hydrophilic nature because of hydrophilic nature, they are easily soluble in water. They contain functional groups that form hydrogen bonds with water. Now, why they are hydrophilic? Because the functional group they uh, bind with water. Now example are serine, threonine, cysteine, asparagine and glutamine. These are the example for polar uncharged amino. Next, the fourth type of amino acids are acidic amino acids. So here amino acids in which R group is acidic or negatively charged. And the best example for the acidic amino acids are glutamic acid and aspartic acid. The name itself tells you they are acidic in nature. And in the same way, we have basic amino acids in which R group is basic or positively charged. So example for basic amino acids are lysine, arginine and histidine. Next, the second category is the classification of amino acids which is based on their nutritive value. Now here this is mainly this classification depends on the nutritional value, like essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. Now essential means the amino acids which must be part of our diet, because uh, they are not synthesized by our body, but they are required for the functioning of the body. Say here 9 amino acids cannot be synthesized in the body, and therefore they must be present in the diet. Okay, and the 9 essential amino acids are histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan and valine. So these 9 amino acids must be part of our diet. Remember, all 20 amino acids are required for protein synthesis, which happen in each and every cell of our body. But out of 20, 9 amino acids are not synthesized in our body. So they must be consumed in the form of food. They must be part of your diet. So missing, if only one amino acid is missing, you remember protein synthesis cannot happen. So all 20 amino acids must be present in sufficient number for the protein synthesis. Now what are the proteins? Proteins like muscular proteins, hormones, enzymes, etc. There are so many protein molecules which are involved in the biological activity. Now, second one is non-essential amino acids. As I already told you, these amino acids are synthesized in the body itself. There is no need to acquire them through the diet. Of course, they can be present in diet, but it is not compulsory. If you don't consume them in the form of food, no problem, because they are already there in the body and body is capable of producing them. Conditionally, non-essential amino acids are not essential except in times of illness and stress. Now, whenever some disease or in times of illness and stress, our body may not produce these amino acids. At that time, there may be a need to consume them through the diet. Now, arginine, cysteine, glutamine, tyrosine, glycine, ornithine, proline, and serine are the essential, non-essential amino acids which need not be part of our diet. So this is about the elementary classification of amino acids. Now these are some of the references which you can refer for detailed explanation.